I had one of the most weirdest, interesting runs yesterday, and I've been thinking about it a lot, and I wanted to walk through dealing with failure as a runner. I've been running for consistently for 5 years. I've kind of always had running in my life, and this shifted my mindset a little bit, and it's hard to deal with because I don't want to be a coward, right? I'm not a fan of quitting. Though, of course, there's times to back off or maybe one step back to take two steps forward. And I'm really early in a training block for a 100-mile race. Yesterday, I was really excited for this run. There's this trail, Forsyth to Burger Peak in Pine Valley, Utah. 10.6 miles, something like that, and then roughly, almost 3,500 feet of vertical gain. Started pretty excited, and maybe it was the higher elevation. I don't know if it was the speed work the other day. I got a mile or two in and I was like, this sucks. And I know I can gut those things out. I've done things that are way harder than that. And I decided to get to 3 miles, then 3.1, then 3.25, and I turned around. So 2 miles shy of the summit, still another 2,000 feet of gain to go. And I turned around, so I ended up at 6.5 miles. And I was thinking about this because, again, I don't want to be a coward. I want to be able to see things through. And then also I want to be healthy and crush my races. And it feels like sometimes you got to take the foot off the gas pedal for that. And who knows, maybe I talked myself out of it and I really should have seen it through. But I got down and I drove home and I did some house things because I just bought a new house. And I just had this itch to go back out there and get some more miles in. So I did a 5.5 mile loop, roughly 500 feet of gain. And it was really interesting because I was deciding, or excuse me, a voice crack, that's awesome. I was thinking about, my mom's told me this, a choice is only a choice until the next choice. And I really like that one because when I turned around, I decided that was the choice, and I wasn't proud of it per se. But not being proud or feeling like a failure wasn't going to get in the way of me enjoying it. So with the 3.25 miles on the way back, I just tried to enjoy it. I mean, I wasn't listening to music. I was just with my thoughts, trying to just take in the fact that I failed, right? And I mean, it would be a fail if you're looking at the idea of just completing the run, but it didn't end with the failure. And when I got back and after some time to just do some other things, I felt like I had it in me to go do another 5.5 miles. It was an easy run, zone 2, and I ended up with a mile and a half more than I was planning on that day. Not as much vert, but if we reframe this, it was 1,700 feet of vert more than last Saturday. And that's something that made me proud. And there's going to be a redemption run. I'm going to go back to that peak at some point before my 100-mile race. Maybe I'll be in better shape. I'm super early into training for this 100. And it was just trying to grapple with the duality of taking it easy and letting go versus pushing through. And there's all these different perspectives on that. But ultimately what I ended up on is this is the point I wanted to make is I get to choose and it's my journey, right? Because you could take the Goggins mentality of push through, and I love that kind of stuff. And then you could take the perspective of let go and it wasn't your day and be okay with that and radically accept that. And those are great. It's just duality, right? And trying to find when to choose what is difficult, and I want to do that without beating myself up too much, but I don't want to lose the grind and the tenacity and being able to push through. I ended up on I got to choose, accepted my choice, and that wasn't the end all be all. And I think that's the thing that I'm trying to get at. Maybe I didn't need to run the 5.5 miles after that run to make it up per se, but I chose and I made a choice until the next choice. I think a lot of times with failure, we think that's the end. And this is not uncommon at all. Everyone talks about this. It's not. You can fall short and make a decision to try again, or maybe even compromise. And I love the burn the boats. There's no other options, but sometimes you leave a boat, you go back and then you reevaluate and you get back out there. And so maybe this provides some perspective. I'm still really trying to figure this out because over the last 3.5 years of running, it's all about finishing it no matter what. And I'm so on board with that because that's such a powerful thing. And I know I have that in me. That's the other thing is, as I was coming down the mountain, I was like, I failed today, or I'm a coward, or I don't finish things. And then I'm like, dude, you ran 10 marathons in 10 days. You've done 3 100-mile races. You set a course record at a 50-mile race. And all the personal life things too, like getting on stages and traveling for my career and being a better brother and son. It's just not black and white like that, right? In a lot of situations, I think that's an important mentality for certain things. Like races, it's different. It's like, I'm going to finish this, right? With training, one bad workout or falling short of one run or weightlifting session is not the end. And I think I found in real time a way to get back to that idea faster than letting it destroy me. And there's still the fire there that's like, I'll be back there, right? It wasn't the end. And maybe a month from now I go back up there, or 2 months, whatever it is, and I redeem myself in a way. But I didn't necessarily feel less, even though there's this hole that needs to be filled by finishing that peak, because that's what originally I'd said I would do. Hopefully that gives you some perspective or a way to grapple with these things, because I don't want to back away from things I'm afraid of or things that are hard, but sometimes falling short still brings you up a level. It's just not quite where you want to be. And then the choice is only a choice until you make the next choice. If you like running content, my name's Reese. That's what this channel is about. I'm trying to help people enjoy running more, learn from my mistakes, and hopefully I get to see you in another video sometime soon. Peace.